systems go. Clear for liftoff. What's up, everyone? Tyler Tamboline here, a.k.a. ToeTagginTambo, back for another edition of the Thursday Night Football Showdown show here on the Ship It Nation YouTube station. Make sure to hit that thumbs up on the way in. Subscribe to the channel for all of our free shows. Got Hoopster, got Title here with me as always. Going to be breaking down all things Raiders at the Broncos. And Hoop, I'll kick it to you first. Big boy spread. We do have Ship It Games winners coming up soon, so stick around for that. I think it was another head-to-head win for you this past week, Hoop, right? 7-2 now is what we got it up to?
Yeah, back on track after a couple losses. Feels good. It was a tough battle. I mean, but ended up winning by 20 or so. So back on track. I can get, kind of talk in that cocky manner a little bit more. 7-2. The over-under is on the rise and, looking to get back on a streak, after a 2-game losing streak. And in regards to the game tonight, I mean, yeah, it's, a big spread here. I mean, 10-point favorites the Broncos are. But I think everyone still is a little nervous of these Thursday games because we've seen so many of these favorites get busted on Thursday night. This one, there's just no way I can be worried about it. I mean, I just don't see the Broncos struggling here against the Raiders. Raiders obviously made a trade this week, trading Jacoby Myers. I mean, they're just not a very good team. They had an overtime loss as well to the Jaguars, so overtime loss, and then quick turnaround to Thursday Night Football. The Broncos are in a good spot, and we'll talk about how that applies for DFS, obviously, throughout the show here.
Well, before I go to title, I do got to bring this up because this man's been waiting since Monday to talk to you. I guarantee it. There was a favorite that got beat last week, and your Detroit Lions lost to those Minnesota Vikings. So what do you got to say to Danny?
Yeah, it is funny. I was sitting here watching. Well, I guess I don't know if it's funny. I was sitting here watching the game. I was like, wow, this is really pathetic on the part of the Lions. Mrs. Hoop was watching it too. I think, the kids were. So, I mean, it was a family affair watching the Lions get their ass kicked. And after the game was over, it is funny. I will say to Danny, that's one of the first things I thought of. I was like, I owe Danny from the YouTube chat an apology. Every time I absolutely go in on his team and shit on him, they just punch me right in the face, and that is what happened. So I take the L and an apology to our guy Danny. I got that one wrong, and your Vikings looked better and beat the shit out of the Lions. So congratulations.
I talked shit on JJ McCarthy too, and he just owned it. And we've all been there. Title's made some of those. Hoops definitely made the best one ever. Someone brought it up just a few weeks ago again of Hoops call that week, and Buddy just went and broke the slate on his head after that. It was incredible. But Title, I'll go to you, man. We've got a Broncos game, big favorites at home. I know it's a big survivor week for you and many others that are looking into it. So what's your feeling here, man, coming into the Thursday night game?
Yeah, big 9.5-point favorites, tied for the biggest of the week right now. Like who mentioned, a short week for both, but I mean, going to Denver, tough place to play, traded Jacoby Myers. At least Brock Bowers is healthy. I mean, if you're a Raiders fan, you have that to look forward to. I think they made the right call putting him on the shelf for 2 weeks or whatever. He clearly wasn't fully healthy and then just nuked. But, man, you got to think this Denver defense tries to take him away. Geno leads the league in interceptions. Yeah, probably have their ears pinned back for most of this game here. So, yeah, DFS-wise, though, the 9.5-point favorites, like you're going to see 5-1s, you're going to see 4-2s. It's no secret when you're looking that way.
Yeah, and we just saw Brock Bowers come off a massive game, so at least that's somewhat interesting. We kind of know what the 4-2s are going to have in there and some of the 5-1s, what they're going to try and do. There'll be other builds, of course, which we'll get to. We love breaking it down from that perspective. But before we break it down, want to let you know quickly, we did talk about this past weeks, but we partnered with Splash Sports. If you go to Splash Sports, use code SHIPIT, there now is a bonus. I know a ton of you got over there and signed up. There was some huge quick picks this week. They did 75X. Actually, it was a 50% boost. And then you could get it up to 75% on $20. So up to $1,500. It is all peer-to-peer, which is why we love this. It's not just sports betting or anything like that. You can go do it. You are playing against others that are in the same games. We've already got Survivor contests rolling that we just talked about. We've got upcoming March Madness. We've got one and done. We've got a ton of different stuff and fun that we're going to be having with Splash Sports. So go over to Splash, use code SHIPIT. You get a 50% deposit match bonus and 100% payout boost on first Quick Picks entry. If you've already signed up with them, you'll still get the Quick Picks boosts. There's 2 to 3 a day. I know, Hoop, you talked about it last week. There's just a bunch of them that are sitting in there for everybody across NBA and NFL right now. Anything else you want to add?
Sorry, I had to mute, but yeah, like that's what we talked about. If you're playing these sort of games, like you need to go to Splash. If you don't have an account, obviously use that code, ship it, get started. And like I said, I went there and just 6 promos, 6 boosts, like right out of the gate without even really playing on there. They have a ton of promos, like big time multipliers on certain days. It's just nonstop. They're feeding you with value. So if you're playing this sort of game or want to get into it, like this is definitely the spot to go.
Yeah, I was trying to see mine from last night. I think I got 4 out of 6 right. And I just been using the projections because you just take out like the points. You can do points, rebound, assists. Like you can get a good idea from our projections. And it looks like, I think it was one person got 6 right last night and got the $1,500 off the top. So, $20 into 1,500, not a bad day at the office. So we'll hop right into it. We'll get to the Ship It Games winners when we get there, but there is a promotion we do want to let everybody know, so we'll get all the marketing stuff out of the way early this week, but it's right at the top of the site. So typically for the season for NFL, including SaberSim, is $449 or $399, depending on what promo or deal that you got. There is over half the regular season left, the entire playoffs, and the Super Bowl. So we just put this up today. It's at the top of the site. If you want to get in, you can take advantage. It's good till Monday. It is $199 for the rest of season, NFL and college football, right through Super Bowl. You get Ship It Games entry. You get all the projections, ownership, stone, stack ranking, showdown, core, slate plans, everything, including the education courses, and it includes SaberSim. So for $199 the rest of the season, it works out to basically a full month for free. And then you get in the Discord, you get the Ship It Games entry, you get all that stuff that goes with it. And also, Hoop, I know you talked about this the other day, but we were didn't tell people live. Anyone who gets in before Monday will go into the draw for a 555 Millimaker ticket, not for this Sunday, for the next one, because we want to get this going through the weekend and talk through it. But we're giving away a 555 Millimaker ticket to one person who already just gets in for the good deal anyway. Go ahead, Hoop.
Yeah, and well, wouldn't you say we're going to make that announcement on Monday?
Yeah, on Monday they're gonna have until Monday just so we can get through the weekend and everything else going on. We've already got Shareship that we're going to announce on this show with Ship It Games. It's going to be in the 555, so we'll give you through Monday. But obviously, the sooner you sign up, the sooner you get access. Yeah,
I mean it's a hell of a deal. It gets you all the way through. I mean NFL playoffs as well. That's always big for DFS. Really big for DFS. The prize pools are massive, so it gets you all the way through that. And then hopefully stay on board for PGA because we're putting in a ton of work to our PGA product. And that's kind of when, obviously PGA starts to begin, or, I don't even know when some of these events kick off, but like the real PGA DFS season starts as soon as the Super Bowl ends. Well, probably that weekend, right? The waste management's huge. Like that's the biggest one. So like it's a perfect bridge right to another huge DFS sport. And, we have some big plans for PGA DFS Showdown, all the contests they offer. So this gets you in the door at a cheap price, and then you're able to stay on board right into PGA as well. So love to have you.
Check it out. If you get in, that's the promo. We'll be talking about it all weekend, but enough is enough on the marketing. Title, I'll go to you. Grand scheme overview when it comes to this game. You guys both mentioned a little bit about the trade. Reminds me a little bit of the other night with these wide receiver rooms. We're just going to be going around in circles of this, could be this, could be this, could be this, but that worked out pretty good on that slate. There was a two-way chop or whatever for 165,000. So, that could happen again tonight. That's the nice part of it. But what's your thoughts on this game and how you see it playing out?
Yeah, I just want to also add on. I mean, college football, they have slates pretty much every single day. Action on Tuesday, Wednesday. I've been starting to dive in. College football is fun. And I mean, Hammock's one of the best in the world. Dollar Bill works as hard as possible. Smarty's in there dropping stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you want, you got to kind of be around your computer, but if you want another sport to add into your portfolio, college football, NHL is definitely fun over there. So, I mean, Thanksgiving football, when we get that, those slates are massive. A lot of great slates ahead there. So what a deal. As far as, captains and stuff, I mean, I mentioned the 5-1-4-2s. Denver builds will be very popular. Bo Nix is the most popular captain on the slate, the nice thing with him is you did mention, like, there's multiple receivers, kind of just one tight end, maybe two, but like RJ Harvey, a running back that can catch passes, but mainly Bo Nix has been running a little bit. If you look at his game log, rushing touchdown upside plus 340, rushing prop of 20.5. So when I do play him up top, I definitely probably want at least one pass catcher, prefer 2 threes in play. But if he runs it in, that can definitely change a lot on the slate, and he has that opportunity. So like I'm gonna eat the chalk there at captain. But I also like the J.K. Dobbins. I'm good with Harvey as well, but Dobbins just leverages so much. Sutton will be like 10-ish%. Bo Nix, I think, can approach the 20 mark. Kind of like we talked about on Thursday, just Javonte, Zonovan Knight. It didn't work for either of them. But if Dobbins does fall in the box twice or something like that, he's the leading touchdown prop on the slate at -105. They're big favorites at 9.5. If they take the air out of the football and they rely on him, like Bo Nix, chalk, and other stuff bust. So I like the builds Dobbins gives me. I like Bo Nix, like I mentioned. Probably just really Sutton after that. And then I will be more overweight on Raiders captains than probably most people are thinking. Like, I'm going to play Genty. I know the spot's not great with the price and all that, but still second on the slate for a touchdown at +125. If they do stay competitive, I think they're going to need to get him a lot of touches. I'm fine playing 7-8% for a guy as good as Genty. I'm fine getting overweight there. Trey Tucker, he now slides into wide receiver 1 without Jacoby, big play guy, kind of cheaper than these Bo Nixes, Genties, Bowers, a little different build there. So I'm fine with Trey Tucker, and then probably some Brock Bowers. But I'm seeing we have him at like 16-17%. If that's the case, that feels a little hot for me. It feels like the Broncos, one thing that they're going to do, take away their best player in Bowers, make all these other bums beat you. Denver feels smart enough to do that. So at that ownership, I'm actually a little worried about Bowers.
Maybe you nix out Brock Bowers up top and go with Bo Nix in more lineups. That's a possibility as well. But I think it's a great breakdown because we're pretty aligned to start things off. And I like that call. I think it makes for a good slate when we have those opportunities. And like you say, if someone says, oh, this is not, Denver, there's no way Genty could be the guy. We've seen it a million times. Like even this season already, there was a giant slate where RIP Scat, my chain now, but the night that he was captain up top and ended up being the optimal. And it was like, that was a slate. There was no way it could be him up top and ended up just crushing it. We've seen a couple others as well. So Hoop, I'll kick it over to you. Anything you want to add to that or anything else you're seeing differently with this slate?
Yeah, just kind of struggle. It's pretty difficult from a standpoint of identifying who you want to play in the captain. Like we know the plays overall, the guys that are appealing, but to say like these are my captains, pretty difficult. Like Bo Nix is the obvious one, and he'll be owned, and I'm fine with it just because of how many different ways you can play him. There's so many guys to pair him with, and so many different combinations. Where to me the ownership really doesn't matter all that much because you can build solid, not unique teams, but less dupe teams with Bo Nix because of all the options. I'm good with Bowers. I want Bowers. I'll probably be overweight on Bowers just because the strength of the Denver defense is that defensive line, and the way to beat that is to get the ball out quick. And I think they're going to be forced to get the ball out quick. And if you're getting the ball out quick, it's typically to the tight end. So I'm good with the Bowers stuff there. I don't have as much interest in Genty. He's still going to be probably, 10-ish% owned. So he is probably like the third highest owned captain. I don't love it. If I build my teams and I get some, I'm fine with it. I struggle with Sutton too. Like Sutton just has not had the monstrous games that you really need. He had one week 3, he had 26 fantasy points, but outside of that, like he has not had the ceiling games. Like I'll include him in the pool. Don't love him. Probably like Dobbins over him. Like that's one way to kind of get off all of the stuff is just to play like Dobbins and hope they get a lead and pound him. I think people will chase the RJ Harvey big game, and that's totally fine. But I just look at what Harvey specifically did last week. Like he carried the ball twice, right? Carried the ball twice and had 5 catches for 51 yards and found the end zone. But the concerning thing is two rush attempts. So to me, it's like the backfield clearly belongs to Dobbins. So I don't really love Harvey all that much. He's getting a little bit of ownership, like the Trey Tucker thing, yeah, blah. So I guess, for captains, for me, like Nix, Bowers, Dobbins, I think are like the three. Fine with having some Sutton. And then, Troy Franklin's the other guy I wanted to add into the mix. I mean, no Marvin Mims tonight. I guess that's kind of pretty big news, and that's the reason why some of this Bo Nix captain stuff can get a little bit unique or a little bit different, because we have more options added into the mix that we'll talk about when we get to flex. But Troy Franklin's already had a pretty big role. Like, he's been one of the main dudes, one of the main targets, and now Mims is out. I mean, the targets for Troy Mims, 10, 8, 10. Like the last, huh?
You're missing out on Mims. Said Troy Mims. I'm just laughing because it's like you want Marvin Mims, but Troy
okay. Well, yeah, you know what I meant. But Troy Franklin for sure. At he's 11-4 up top and 28 targets in the last 3 weeks. Definitely interested in him as well. So I don't know. It is a tough slate though for captain, I will say.
I like that call. That was definitely one that I had in mind as well. So I think that's another way to get different. The Bo Nix spot, someone asked title. I'll use this as a segue because you can talk about quarterbacks into running backs if you want to add any further. But I think this is a thought. It looks like Nix is just going to be way, way higher owned up top.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many there's more ways. Like, it is a 2K difference, but we have some salary below, like Harvey's in the mix or some other running backs rotating in. You play Nix for sure.
Yeah, I think it just.
And I always have my cash report and stuff for the site for all members up, so I did just put that up too.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so there you go, and that's what I had expected. But there's so many values when we get there to these other positions. Title. I know you mentioned a little about Genty already. Hoop mentioned a good point. I think people are, with the interesting thing is like Harvey versus Franklin. It's $1,000 more. It looks like Franklin's getting a little more ownership, but not by that much when you're talking flex. And the thought is like people are definitely still going to be going after the Harvey stuff. Some of the coach speak I saw posted out there, things like that. But Franklin really has been a guy that's involved plenty already. And now, even more so possible. So what's your thoughts on the quarterbacks? And then you can take it into running back as well with Harvey, Genty, and the rest, Dobbins.
Yeah, no, I do like that Troy Franklin shout as well. The Harvey stuff, well, quarterbacks, like I don't really have much interest in Geno at captain. I don't know. Again, I always rely on you for that stuff. It feels like if he fully gets there, I'm hoping it's all through Bowers or Trey Tucker gets a long one and it's him you need. But it's not impossible to see him throwing 3 touchdowns to 3 different guys and one of them's in garbage time. I mean, he's low owned enough where I wouldn't exit out of my portfolio. Do you have any thoughts there quick before I continue?
Yeah, I will for sure. I think, that's the interesting. It's mainly just because of the Bowers. I don't know what you want to call it, I don't want to be negative about it because I'm the one that always says that like he doesn't need to get us 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. Like, he doesn't need to have a huge 40-something point game tonight, especially on Showdown, which is obviously true. But I think if I'm not going to be as high on him, I would want to have Geno, Genty, Tucker. Like, I'm good with those captains on that side, even if it's a 2-4. The other thing about Geno is if he does, again, not always, but if he does use his legs a little bit or something like that, that hurts Genty, that hurts Bowers. If he sneaks a touchdown in and then maybe he throws one to somebody else later, and then it's just the way you set it up on the other side. It can still very easily happen. We've also seen Geno be part of classic Millie Maker wins when they lose by 20 plus or something. So it's like, can they stay in the game enough? It's possible. You could get crushed too, but those lineups are all going to end up more popular anyway. So it's like, I would rather be on the opposite side of that. I think when you have Genty, Tucker, Jack Beck, and Dante Thornton, Bowers, Meyer, even there's a lot of options that he can throw to here. And that's kind of the perfect storm for what I would want to at least consider. Obviously on the Knicks side, it's easy to say, yes, that one's done. But on the Geno side, I do have some interest. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, if they're down 17 in the 4th quarter and he just goes and pounds in a garbage time touchdown, that counts for the same. I could see it getting there as well. We know teams kind of let their foot off the gas or play more zone and prevent the deep ball. So yeah, I don't mind Geno there. Running backs, the thing I am worried about, like you guys keep saying, I mean, people can just click on Harvey's game log. His price fits a lot and just look like a smash, but the props aren't great. He's still splitting. So he's plus 220 to score, which is fine, but we know it's always robbery. Troy Franklin's plus 165 if you're comparing that. And then Harvey has a 22.5 rushing prop and a 16.5 receiving prop. So I'm a little worried there. I definitely prefer him in the flex than the captain. You can play Dobbins and RJ Harvey together. They can both get in the box today. People don't, when they hand build, they won't click that as much. but I don't love Harvey. What do we got him? 21% in the flex. If anything, I think we're a little low. I could see that getting a little steam, but yeah, I mean, I'm fine getting around that. I don't want to make a strong stance. Genty, I think I prefer in the captain than the flex. Obviously, I'll still play some. It's a portfolio, but I either want him to fully get there with 2 touchdowns and leverage everything or not as much. And then Dobbins is my favorite running back, I think, on both sides, just for the sense they're 9.5-point favorites. They leverages off of the Bo Nix captain stuff. So when fading Bo Nix, playing Dobbins makes a lot of sense. Even if, like in the flex, if he rushes 1 touchdown, the leading chance on the slate at minus 125, 12 could be enough there, and you can still do a lot of different stuff. So that's probably it. Like this Batty guy, he's mixing in a little bit, Tyler Batty, but it's like a 150 play, if anything.
Yeah. Hoop, do you want to add anything else at quarterback, or then you can go to running back as well?
I do think the Geno Smith stuff is interesting. And if I was going to add another person to the captain, I think it might be him. And you touched on something that I was kind of thinking about earlier, the fact that, man, Geno does have an ability to get there in garbage time. There's like some quarterbacks that just can't do it or don't do it. Geno's definitely one that can do it. And even in like tougher spots, he's proven that. So I think he's a good talking point, because you get a quarterback that's probably pretty low owned up there. Do you have on hand what we're showing? Because I don't have it up here.
It's somewhere probably around
6.7.
Yeah, so
it's like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it could be like 5. You're getting a quarterback that does have a little bit of rushing upside as well. So yeah, I like that. I like that call a little bit to add him. And either way, even if you don't like him up top, like 9K in the flex, I think is a fine option. Like his floor, I think is relatively high, and the 9K, even if he goes and gets like 14 or 15 fantasy points, that could be one of this could be one of those games where that's like good enough in the flex. So I think he's fine, and definitely think it depends how many captains you're playing. If you're and how many teams you're playing. If you're playing a lot of teams, I don't hate adding him in. Kind of agree with Title though on the running back stuff, especially RJ Harvey. I think people are going to see that and they're just going to want to play it because of the big week. They're going to look at the game log, but I just can't get out of my head that he rushed the ball twice, and the props are a combined yardage of 35. And he has a price tag where we need him to do something, and yeah, he could do it, but man, I don't know. I'd struggle with him. I already said I don't like Genty all that much at the 10-2 price tag. So like for me, it's going to be a lot of Dobbins. I like Dobbins. I like the price. I like the spot. He is their primary running back. And then like the backup dudes, like I have pretty much no interest. Like when we get to wide receiver and tight end, it's loaded. I mean, loaded up with value, loaded up with underpriced guys. Like I just want to play all those dudes over Mostert or Batty. Like I just have very limited interest in playing any of those guys. So really for me, like the only guy I see myself being overweight on at the running back spot is going to be Dobbins, and I actually feel really good about it, to be honest with you. So kind of where I'm at.
I got to play the Tylers on this slate, but if there's going to be, there might be some 5-1s, and there's another Tyler that was just mentioned in the chat later. They did go and pick up Tyler Lockett for the Raiders. We'll get to wide receiver in a second, but I will say that if it's like a 5-1 tonight and I'm building it and leaving like $6,000 on the table, I'm fine. Like if I take a Franklin team down to, I think it's like Bidet, isn't it? Even though it's like, looks like Batty, but I think it's Tyler Bidet, but I'm saying if I take it down to that, I'd be fine with it if it makes sense. And if I'm not on Dobbins, I'm not on Harvey, maybe I do it differently that way. And it's like, maybe he gets something in garbage time instead of it being Bands will make them dance, Michael Bandy or Troutman or some of these guys that you're just going to, forever be trying to figure out versus, I don't know, I guess Jack Beck is the one that's going to come up here in a second, but Title, I'll go to you on wide receiver. And while it's uncertain on who will need of this wide receiver roulette, one thing that is certain is there is no Surtain tonight again. So maybe that's another opportunity for Geno and the pass catchers and the wide receiving core. I know a lot of people are just immediately going to the Bowers thoughts when we get to tight end, but there is Tucker, there is Jack Beck, there is the rookie Thornton Jr., there is Tyler Lockett, who they just picked up. Good luck, but I'll let you roll first on this stuff. What do you think is going to happen here on that side? And then take us over to the Broncos as well.
Oh, it's so gross on the Raiders side. Like, I really only have interest in Trey Tucker. Not again, Tyler Lockett will get some of my builds. Jack Bash will get some of my builds. But we're looking at a receiving prop for Lockett of 15.5 and 13.5 for Jack Bash. Like, that's really, really bad. And then we have Thornton down there who, I mean, man, it was really disappointing in the sense of he was supposed to have a big role, like coming into week 1 as the wide receiver 3 next to Tucker and Myers, and just that completely went away. So I don't mind if you want to take a shot for him for really cheap at 1,200, but I truly like it's Trey Tucker for me, and he seems a little overpriced at 7K, but I want that. Like, he actually has rapport with Geno, big play guy, fast, 44.5 receiving prop on this slate, which is the third best, tied with Troy Franklin. Like, these other guys, like, we'll get to Michael Mayer, Brock Bowers. I mean, those guys are essentially wide receiver 1, wide receiver 3. Like, it's not Jack Bash, it's not Thornton. Lockett's as dusty as it gets, so I don't like that side. And then the other side, Denver, I mean, yeah, I'm playing plenty of Bo Nix teams when I'm playing it. Like, I like Troy Franklin, I like Sutton, I like Pat Bryant. After that, though, probably not much. So, yeah, Trey Tucker by far my favorite. Then I like the Broncos guys, and yeah, I mean, Bash, Lockett, they're going to have to make some teams because they're on the field, but I don't like it by any means.
What about this? What Lockett can? Doesn't he got all the chemistry in the world with Tyler Lockett? I thought those guys played together.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Lockett might be stone cold dust right now.
I mean, he did, I will say, in his defense, I'm fairly certain he got a red zone target last week. So, I mean, 3K, red zone target. Like,
who likes him? There you go.
I'm definitely in on some Lockett. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely in.
Reunited, baby. Reunited. That's what it was. So
hey, let's bring it all back. We'll bring back the Millie team. Got Geno, got Tyler Lockett, or anyone else that was part of that squad that I can throw into the mix here. Let's see. Nope, that's gonna do it right there.
So this is interesting, actually. This guy Thunder Dan I follow, and he said it's not an official recommendation. Everyone makes their takes and whatever. I'll give him credit for saying, because I'm just curious. He said like this, because Tyler, we always look at the props. He said the receptions are super low at 1.5. This is for Jack Bash, Beck, whatever you want to call him. Yardage at 12.5. It's now up to 13.5. I saw the same. But he says Brock Bowers will surely be targeted a ton. But in a game where Geno Smith likely has to throw it 40 times, there's like no competition. Trey Tucker, a 5'8" slot receiver. Tyler Lockett, a 33-year-old 5'10" slot receiver. Thornton, a rookie with 5 career catches. So the 40 times, if he does, I believe that he could definitely throw it 40 times tonight. Where's that ball going? That's the tricky part, right? And I think Bauer's stuff is inflated after last game because I don't know, if they throw it to him 20 times tonight, that'd be crazy, but it's possible.
Well, how many defenders does Denver have out there at one given time?
We got 11.
So there's 11 other guys out there that the ball could potentially go to.
Yeah,
but I'm with you. But I say that as a joke. But I'll kind of hop in. I'm going to be overweight on probably all the Vegas pass catchers because, like, why not? Like, the ball he is going to throw the ball. He'll chuck it, and like it can't just be all Brock Bowers or Mayer. Like, someone else on the squad is going to get an opportunity. Is it Lockett? Is it Beck? Is it Thornton Jr.? I don't know, but I'll play them all and hopefully land on the right combination. Like, no one knows. Like, nobody knows. Maybe it is Thornton Jr. at 1,200. Maybe they're like, all right, going into the preseason, we thought this guy, or going into the season, we thought this guy was going to have a role. He hasn't had the opportunity. Maybe tonight he gets the opportunity. I'm playing all of them. I think they're fine. And this Lockett, I'm fairly certain I saw it, and then someone in the chat will be able to pick up on it quick, but I'm pretty sure Lockett got a red zone target last week, which is absolutely insane. But if it happened, it could happen again. So I'm in on all those guys. With the Denver, it's pretty clear. Sutton, Troy Franklin's definitely my favorite, probably my favorite pass catcher, and he's going to have some ownership. Fine with that. And then this Pat Bryant guy at 3,200, another option. So there's a ton of different ways to go with wide receiver. But I will embrace the volatility, I guess, of the Vegas guys a little bit here tonight.
Yep, one red zone target, Tyler Lockett. There you go.
Thank you. Yep, there it is. Yep.
And then our guy Stat had chat. Shout out to Stat. He also said this.
That's all I need, man.
This could become a thing tonight as well.
Yeah,
and I don't think this is they can do different things to try and cover it, but we just saw it. I'm not even trying to compare the two different positions, whatever two big ass dudes that are good at football, Jamar Chase and him. But like if a team wants to throw 20 times to their guy, they can do it. And that's definitely a possibility. And they won't be able to cover it every single time. And then that happens. So yeah, again, people will be shocked and appalled if somehow Brock Bowers just goes off again tonight. He doesn't need to have the 43 point for performance to get him up top with 60 something points. It's like he can definitely just have his good game tonight and still be in the mix. And that's fine. But I think just people are so high on these Broncos 5-1s and 4-2s that obviously it makes like, oh, I'll just play Brock Bowers in the flex and I'll be good. So I don't know. We'll have to see that number goes up or down by the time we get to lock. But title, sticking with that, Stat just mentioned Michael Mayer. We're just past Halloween. That's what we've been waiting for. So he's still got his costume on, maybe come out and play. But you got Brock Bowers, you got Evan Ingram, and then you got some backup options there. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, I like Mayer quite a bit. I mean, he has the second highest or third highest receiving prop on the Vegas stuff at, I believe it was 25.5. Again, that's lock at 15.5, best 13.5. So I think it is Mayer as a top 3 target, especially if they're under pressure. And if you think Denver takes away Bowers, I mean, that's your safety blanket. So I like him at ownership. I like Evan Ingram. I like Brock Bowers. And then Troutman, like I can go and build any Lockett team who's 3K, drop down from Lockett to Troutman. I just say 1,400. Not as much with Besh to Troutman, but it's still $400. They look all the same to me. I mean, Troutman, 7.5 receiving prop, not very good there, but he's plus 450 to score. Whereas you look at Lockett and Besh, plus 1,000, plus 1,200, more just big boy stuff at the goal line, and you play action. If you go Bo Nix up top and Troutman there, that's a way to get a chalky Bo Nix team different, easier to leave money. He actually outsnapped Ingram last week. Again, more blocking stuff, but I think I prefer Troutman, and it's close. It's not a strong lean, but I think I prefer Troutman in the savings a little bit to the Besh Lockett stuff. But yeah, I like the tight ends today.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I like you said too, and him being out there. I also like from the previous, it was, you guys talked a little, but the Pat Bryant option there. Speaking of those red zone targets, I mean, he's got some of those as well too. So that's an interesting spot based on the other stuff that the chat's talking about. Hoop having the smallest bladder on the planet. He said, very true. He's self-admitted on that one for sure.
Yes.
I don't have too much else to add at tight end, Hoop, but I don't know if you want to tack onto it. I've had a couple of Brock Bowers chats. I've had the Michael Mayer talks, the Halloween jokes, the Evan Ingram stuff. Is there anything you've got to add here at the tight end position?
Not too much. I mean, I do think they're really good plays. I mean, the majority of these guys, and I just wanted to, like Michael Mayer at ownership might be the best, one of the best plays on the slate if this holds true, like where he is showing up. We got him at we have him at 10. Saber has him at 13. I was to say somewhere between 10 and 15%. I think he's a really, really strong option. Like he's probably wide receiver too. And like he can do a lot out there, and he has a connection already with the quarterback. I mean, some of these other pass catchers that we talked, which I am playing, like they don't have the connection that he already has with Mayer. And I think he could have a really big game. So he stands out as a very, very strong option. I hope that ownership remains true. And I think it will, just because there's a lot of different guys to play. Bowers already talked about him. I think Ingram is fine. And then, I'll play some Troutman as well. So like these dudes, but Mayer definitely stands out to me as a very strong play when you factor in ownership tonight.
Yeah, I think the other thing I'm just thinking it through now, some of the other stuff now, we talked through a lot of the positions title is like with the roster construction. I definitely think there's some pretty good Denver 5-1s that leave like $5,000 on the table. That, again, people just won't do that naturally. And I can tell you, and you probably still aren't going to go do it. Many people out there like, I just can't click it. I just got to jump this guy up. But I honestly feel like when you're talking about all of these options, at least on the Broncos side, like even the Troutman stuff, the Ingram, the Bryants, the options you have to go there. If you want to use cheaper running backs or whatever it is, there's definitely options just to leave it. And then to the other side, you just say, okay, we've made cases for Bowers, Tucker, Geno, whatever. But who's to say it's not like a Meyer is all you need or something like that. And that ends up being like, I have all the good dudes from Denver that I can possibly have. I'm not eating the RJ Harvey hype in this example. I got all the Raiders I want. And just instead of Trey Tucker, I'm just going to drop it down to Michael Mayer and call it a day. And that's not quite, it's like 4,000, 4,200, but I'm just saying it. Maybe you didn't need it all on the other side. That's almost $5,000 left on that build. So I don't know. I don't know if usually on these slates, this is what I was trying to say, that I'll kick it to you for any final thoughts, kickers, D's, that type of stuff before we move it over to Hoop. But sometimes on these slates, I'm looking for reasons for 4-2s and 2-4, like all these other things, which you'll get into the portfolio. But one thing that stands out is I think that if you think it's going to be what it is tonight, like most of us do, I think there is still really good 5-1 and 4-2 builds just based on roster construction and style of build. And also, if you're willing to leave like the Harveys and or the Bowers out of some of these builds, that just makes it even better for uniques or chance of less duplication. I'll kick it to you.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's enough ways to play, even if you're eating the chalk at Bo Nick's captain, to get different in builds like that, leave money. I don't love Raiders 5-1 by any means, but just looking at my initial portfolio, and I always build closer to lock. I actually recommend most people on Showdown slates too, just for the fact that we saw what was it, Jaden Blue, like inactive on Monday. Like you shouldn't have built before that, or if you did, you had to completely rebuild. So you just never know what inactives you get. But yeah, I think 4-2 Raiders I'm probably going to be over the field with, because I don't think people are really going to get there, especially hand builders. You're only playing 5 or less teams. It's really hard to click 4 Raiders instead of at least 3 and 3. So yeah, I'd be fine going that way. Fine 5-1 leaving money. Kickers defenses, they all look fine except Raiders defense. I think they're clearly the worst play, but they'll also be the lowest owned, and one random play can do a lot, but I won't have much there.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not for everybody, but there's a lot of times, this is my opinion, and what I see on the stuff is like, usually I'm against trying to just go what the crowd's doing as well, but I do think tonight is different just in breaking the slate down. It's usually because if you're landing on the 5-1, you're landing on the same one as everybody. There is so many spots to get unique with it tonight. Like somebody said, you can just leave Sutton, drop him down to Bryant. Like that is something that very easily could happen on this slate. Think about it this way. Like if Sutton doesn't get there early and they do get up in this example of a 5-1, you're kind of looking for that route anyway, of not just route of the build, but you're looking for a route of the Raiders in the game. It's sometimes the person just doesn't get there. There's just no need for them later on. Like we don't need to be running Sutton out and doing everything with him anymore. Let's get Pat Bryant some catches. And all of a sudden they start racking up and you're coming down the stretch. And we've been in the Discord every time for this. So someone's like, I just need Sutton. He ain't coming back out. He's not going to play anymore. They're up too much. Like you need Sutton, but he ain't coming back. Sorry. So that's the way it goes sometimes. So I do think it's more valid tonight than other nights, even if that's not how you see the game going. I still think there's opportunity. Again, a 5-1 doesn't always mean a blowout, just like a blowout doesn't always mean a 5-1 if you flip it the other way around, where it's like sometimes you see a 2-4 the other side or whatever it might be. So Hoop, I'll kick it to you on the note of kickers and Ds if you got anything to add there.
Yeah, I mean, just it'll be the boring stuff for me. I mean, definitely I like the who is it, Will Lutz. I like Will Lutz for sure. Fine with some Carlson and a little bit of red. It probably just gonna go Lutz, Denver D, Carlson, and then I won't be playing much Raiders defense. I mean, I don't know, nothing too crazy there. I think it's relatively straightforward. The prices are, let's see, for the Lutz, yeah, 5K. It's too cheap. And then Carlson, I don't love Carlson all that much. Let's look at Broncos D, 54, showing ownership of we're showing 25. Saber has like 40, probably somewhere in the middle, probably 30 range. So probably be underweight on Broncos D, but Lutz will definitely be a main play.
This got us on Monday too. Remember, we were the D's are so low owned and the kickers are more owned, and we'll see if this even happens. People like to have their lineups up top early. Well, the lineups are up top late. I'm not sure if you saw that thing on FanDuel. My God, I know for an outright. So congrats to them. That's insane. It was 100K unique, but it was both D's and then just jamming everything else in around it. It was wild with the D at the captain or MVP.
What a great ending. I mean, man, they got the nut run out with that game ending. So yeah, I mean, like we say it all the time. We're not going to pretend. It's a lot easier to predict quarterbacks and running backs and all that than defense, and even that's hard. So I mean, any defense, any day.
Yeah, this one's interesting too. Denver sometimes play down to their competition. It's possible. And there's been a lot of people shitting on Bo Nix lately too. So I'm wondering if there's gonna be a little primetime action there. Just come out and dunk on everybody, and everyone will like turn the clock back again. But it's like, it's not like he's beating up on a strong opponent. It's a Raiders team with a 16-point team total on the road. So I get that. What was the other thing that just made me think of? Oh, you know what else happened on? We're kind of getting to the end anyway, close to. But we got Ship of Games winners coming up, by the way. But the Monday night, I don't know who was in it exactly, so it's not like it sucks when it happens to anyone. But what happened to me just the week before with the interception late? There was a lot of teams up there for like 150K that ended up dropping, and I think everybody won 14K instead, like the big train from behind with that last play of the game or the last and the way the game ended. So, man, in Showdown, you cannot chill until you can chill, and then even then you got to sweat the stat corrections and get that money in your account. So, Discord taggers, beware. It's not over till it's actually over. That's
if you're not one to stomach stuff like that, or it'll ruin your day the next day and stuff. I mean, even me, I was talking a big game and seeing 240 possibility with two play. It's hard on the human brain. So maybe just don't for most. Maybe it's just best not to look or just wake up and hopefully see it. I mean, it's a wild game we play.
I've had more success this season when I just wake up to it. So that'll tell you everything. Hoops had a ton of success that way. We've had members this past couple of weeks where it's like, oh, it's nice to wake up to this. And you're like, damn, like that's definitely nice to wake up to that. So yeah, you see it sometimes and it's just part of the game. It's not as bad as I think something like NASCAR, where you can be watching it, still have no clue what the hell's going on. And then a yellow flag and whatever else, this, that, and the other, you wait for it. You think you won, and then it still stat corrects you. You're like, oh my God, this is brutal. So yeah, it's sometimes the way it goes. Title, do you have anything else you wanted to add on the ending there? If not, any FanDuel looks that you've got?
No, nothing else to really add there. For FanDuel, they actually did a good job pricing Bo Nix all the way up to 13.8, where the next highest is 12.2. With that being said, though, there's still enough value. It's still soft enough where he'll be the clear MVP. I mean, he's projected. I got him for like 6 points higher than the next person. Again, with half point instead of full point PPR. Quarterbacks reign supreme, running backs thereafter. Bowers will get squeezed a little more, like I said, with the prioritizing of quarterbacks and some running backs, him being 12K, the third highest priced. I do think he'll be a little low owned. RJ Harvey all the way up to 7.6. That's a big boy price tag relative to DraftKings. After that, I don't think too much stands out. Let's see what Hoop has to say.
Yeah, Hoop, what do you got to add?
Not too much more. I mean, you have the plethora of cheap options, and they're all priced somewhere in that lower range. I'll stick with the Mayer thing. I mean, 46, like he's a little more expensive than some of those cheaper guys on there. I definitely like him equally on FanDuel. And then the other thing is definitely Geno Smith, like the FanDuel scoring favors quarterbacks. He is 11-4, so you're looking at like a $2,400 discount between him and Bo Nix, and you can make a lot work with that money. So I like Geno definitely more on FanDuel, definitely a FanDuel MVP option. And Troy Franklin we talked about. I think he's fine over here too. That's kind of it.
Yeah, I don't see anything besides what you guys mentioned that stands out crazy, but we'll have to see. It's kind of more, and we update this throughout the night as well with the finals of how you see the MVP ownership going, because we still have seen it where it condenses quite a bit over there, even with the setup. And then you get a slate like this where in the setup, meaning that how they changed everything this year to sort of suit the DraftKings way, which I'm much happier with. I think we all are, but just noting that it's still on a site like this where you have a ton of these value options, it will still condense up in the MVP spot versus on DraftKings. We tend to see one guy, maybe two, and then it kind of drops off from there as well. Man, all of our good friends over at the Nation, Sean says that the Super Bowl title's feeling pretty good about that one. Sorry, my friend. He likes that spot. And this was absolutely one of the most brutal beats we saw. Maybe one of the most brutal I've ever seen, if you guys remember from last year, but it was I think Nick was up something like 7 points. Insane, like insane gap for Showdown. They came back, tie it up. It goes to OT, and then he loses it. And it was like late in the game with a huge Showdown lead. You just don't expect to lose. So we're sorry, Nick. You did just send me a text that would be reminiscent of that. Nobody cares, work harder. But I do think it's part of the game, man. That's like Johnny says, though. Hoop, love the sweat, man.
Sometimes you just had a close sweat. 1v1. I mean, Showdown's brutal. But I mean, when it goes your way, don't forget about those moments.
Yeah, that's what it is for sure. All right, we got the first winner. This is the Ship It Games head-to-head winner for this week. This is Golden Ship It number 30. So I'm going to bring this up while we're here. And this is the head-to-head. So Hoop's got a 7-2 record. You still have times to get in the Ship It Games. We just talked about it off the top of the show. We're going to be talking about it all weekend leading into it, but this is the best deal. It was $3.99 or $4.49 to start the season. We have just crossed the halfway point of the regular season heading into week 10. You are going to get the remainder of the regular season. You're going to get all of the playoffs, the Thanksgiving, the alternate slates, all that stuff that we cover for the international games and whatnot for Showdown, at least. And then on the Super Bowl, of course, the biggest Showdown slate of the year. And then you also get college football and you also get SaberSim. Included with all that, you get the Ship It Games entry for the rest of the season. Just everything you can imagine comes with it. So $199 is the best deal, including SaberSim. That's for the rest of the season. Everything we offer, you get in the Discord. Check it all out. If you want to upgrade it from there to an all access, you can let us know. It'll be prorated, get you in that way. So the winner is facing off against Hoopster this week. We have Bradley Transu. Bradley T is getting the job done. Number 30 of 50, the Golden Ship It winner. Hoop, you going to talk some smack to 7-2 record? What's the over under now?
I don't think I've ever heard a last name even close to that before. That's an interesting Transu. That's an interesting last name. Not that it's going to matter or anything because I will be back. I'll be back on a winning streak after this week. We'll have 2 in a row on the record, and looking forward to it. Be going 8-2. Be 8-2 after this. So best of luck. You will need it.
Sorry to Bradley Transu. But after week 10, Hoop will be 8-2. Apologies.
There it is.
All right. And number 31.
I'm going to say this right now, though. Whoever wins this ticket, someone's got to step up to the damn plate. This is getting sad. Like, we have not come close to sniffing. Like, whoever wins this ticket, all right, put in the work and make something happen this week. Please. Please.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I was going to go on a further rant, but your boy Jason's in here. He said, "Hey, I came close."
I gotta say, who was the winner last? Yeah, it was close. It was close. He put up a good fight, but the person that won last week? Like that was not acceptable, right? All right, that we need something better than whatever was put out last week. All right,
Josh Allen lineup.
Yeah, Josh, what was it, like a quadruple Josh Allen stack or something?
I think it was Allen, Shakir, Kincaid.
No, we can't do that stuff. We can't do that. Come on. We can't do that.
I think it had CMC and Monungai, though, so I was like, all right.
Hey, after you named 3 to 4 pass catchers with Josh Allen, it's over. We need better.
Sorry, Nate. Hoop took you down. Yes. We went head-to-head, cooked you. Cooking everyone right now, yeah.
Burning the house down.
Yeah, that is the thing, man. This is the fun one, and this is it's frustrating. It's a fun game. We wanted to have this one. It's a shareship. It's like the person that wins is involved. They create it. It's good to roll, but we haven't had a cash yet, and this is such an opportunity because the winner of number 31 in shareship gets to play in the 555 milli maker with a shot at adding $500K to the prize pool to go up to $579, $267. That's insane. And then another $100K for themselves on top of propelling themselves into the finals with everything else. So we'll see. But the winner this week, who's got to do a much better job after the Hoopster smash, the beatdown over there, number 31 of 50, Golden Ship It winner number 31 is Michael Vilmo. And man, Hoopster, you like a good mow. Nobody likes a good mow better than Hoopster over there. Get that lawn taken care of. Come on,
Michael. Look at that. My first name with Mo at the end. Like, man, we're talking. We're cooking something up this week.
Oh man, it's a Michael Mayer mow down coming in tonight to kick off the week. Oh man, that's so good. Hoop's first name and a Mo. Like, no, again, I've been to Hoop's house. That lawn is pristine. You guys have seen the pictures. It's nuts. Like it's got
to be a good sign. I mean, this has to be a good sign, or we're just done. This has to be it.
Top 18, top end fertilizer on that lawn for sure. I can tell you that.
I do actually, to hit on the lawn stuff real quick. Like I got a big issue over here. All right, I found out I have grubs in the backyard. And it's ruining part of the lawn. So. Not good. Like definitely not good. I mean, you pull on the grass and it just comes up and you see these grubs. So made an emergency call to the fertilizer company, and they just they applied some anti-grub fertilizer this morning. So it's trauma for Hoops Lawn right now.
Man, I was trying to look it up. You got me so fired up about lawns. I've been working on my stuff.
Yeah.
I actually got the Kentucky bluegrass in my yard. That's what we got here, and it's better than most, I will say. It's been solid, but I had some grubs. I had to go out to the local hardware store. I had to buy the little canister bottle, and you had, Mrs. Tambo's like, whoa, I've never seen this before in my life. I'm out there spraying the lawn up and walking it back.
The grubs are no joke. If you don't catch them early, it can destroy a large area of your yard. And I'm battling right now. I'm in the it's crunch time right now. It's like fertilizer down, watered the fertilizer after. I'm going to go back out after the show, get some more water on it. Like I can't, we can't let such a good thing go to waste. So it's go time for Hoops Lawn.
This guy nailed it, man. To bring the noise. Shout out to you. Said Stars and Grubs build tonight where Michael Mower fits this thing, and we want to play him tonight. So you can build a Stars and Grubs lineup with Michael Mower. That's perfect. And Michael Mayer's in the building tonight. So Title, any final thoughts from you, man, before we get out of here? Congrats to the winners, Michael and Bradley. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out?
No, I'm living in Arizona. Having rocks is pretty nice. I still got weeds peeping up through, and sometimes I'm so lazy I get someone over and every month to do some stuff. But yeah, also a lot cheaper out here. You can support the economy and some people coming over here. But yeah, no, I got nothing else. Good luck, everybody.
You're the man. That's hilarious. The rocks, kick rocks title. Everyone wants to know. We got grass we got to deal with. You're out there. Those beautiful, you get the lawns out in Arizona, and they're just all pure, nice rocks, sandstone and shit, matching the side of the house. It's all the same grains and everything. It looks amazing. So
you can get the AstroTurf, right? You can get the fake grass out there.
We got a quote. It was like 9 G's or something for something so ridiculous. I grew up in Wisconsin, though.
That's pocket change. That's pocket change.
Yeah, you thought.
Get that thing applied.
9 G's, pocket cheese for Mr. Title.
Yes. Yeah, I grew up in Wisconsin. I was cutting the lawn, and then I was in like 4th grade, though, with the push mower and shoveling and stuff. I had to get the heck out of there. I hate yard work and all that. I'm like you. That was a chore every single
I don't
weekend.
like the snow portion. The snow portion is awful. But I will say, though, I don't have anything electric, right? I got all my stuff's gas, the mower, like everything's gas. I got an electric snowblower last year. I think it's solid, man. Very solid. It's 2 batteries. Like you put these in full charge. I can do my whole driveway, sidewalk. I'll even do the neighbors if I get out there before them. This electric snowblower was a game changer. We
had a snowblower sitting in our garage every single year, but we were the snowblowers, the kids, and we got sent out there every time. That was never used. So that was our house over here.
Yeah, well, my kids are they're off the hook for the lawn. I cannot risk letting them go out there and fuck up my lawn, so they don't have to worry about cutting the grass. But the snow this year, they're at the age where I might be shipping their asses out there.
Oh, you better. You better.
Every kid had to do that. I might, scrub some grubs off the lawn these days, getting a little bit older, but I still ain't shoveling. I'm a Title on that one. I did enough as a kid. I hate it. Bust your back out trying to lift one little heavy thing. It's all in the knees, they say. Like you got to shoot. I'm like, forget this shit. It's all in the hips, golf. Like I'm out of here.
The snow's the worst though, because then you like bundle up to go out there, and then like you're working so hard shoveling, you start sweating. So like you start feeling like you're gonna pass out because you're freezing, and then you go to sweating, and you have the coat, the hat, the sweatshirt. It's so bad though because like you can't. It's such a bad combination. Like snow.
I'm fully out.
State is terrible.
Fully out. I got it now where the guy comes up and does the lane, and then it only leaves me like the smallest little area in front of the garage. I'm like, okay, I can do that. Just get that done quick and move on. I'm very thankful because that's a thing I hate the most. So, and we get a bunch of snow here, obviously. So it's.
And I will say one really good decision I made, right? Like really good decision is when I got the electric snowblower, the battery operated snowblower. I gave my gas one to my neighbor, and he's like an engineer guy. He fixed it up because it wasn't working well. So since I gave him this thing, like if he gets out there before me, he feels obligated to take care of my stuff. So like I'll wake up sometimes and that shit's done. I'm like, that was like the best move ever. So I've tried it with I've given him a generator. I hook him up with everything. I was like, because it can come back to help you one day. It was a good deal for sure.
It's always pay it forward, man. We try and do that. We mentioned it here. Like if, giving away a 555 ticket, all the ship at game stuff, we always try and pay it forward and be the home of the giveaway. Hopefully this is a good one. Hoop gave you guys the pep talk. We broke it down in all different perspectives. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know. But for this one, I think that's going to do it, guys. So for Title, for Hoop, and for myself, ToeTagginTambo, let's ship it.